Welcome back to the Crypto Market Updates channel. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you exactly why I think XRP is not a good investment and you should stay away from XRP as far as possible. And as a matter of fact, you should stop promoting that particular coin because it's the axis of evil. You ready? Here we go. You may have heard of CBDCs, right? I'm going to read this little article. It's 16 hours old right now, but when I first got it, it was 32 minutes. So this morning I wasn't able to record a video in time, so I'm doing it tonight in the spare time as it is. Central bank digital currencies are poised to give politicians unprecedented power to track your data, restrict your movements, and control your life. If you haven't heard of what CBDCs are and what they might be capable of doing, how they might infringe on people's rights and privacy, this article may be something that you might be interested in reading. Central bank digital currencies have emerged as a prominent topic in the financial world. They promise elevated stability, security, efficiency, and reduced corruption. Central banks, the International Monetary Fund, the World Economic Forum, and the World Bank tell us that the CBDCs are the panacea waiting to cure all that ails our financial system. This is what they would like you to believe, right? But we know from an earlier video that I made on CBDCs that this is not exactly true. Actually, it's the exact opposite of what they're supposed to do. The idea behind CBDCs is they might claim that with the introduction of CBDCs, we might see we should see a drop in corruption. We should see a drop in, actually, maybe not so much corruption, because that's going to persist no matter what. Politicians will always find ways to be corrupted and take money from places that they shouldn't. But what they try to make us believe is that this will clamp down on crime, that money laundering will no longer be as easily accessible as it is today, despite the fact that we've had cash for so long, and with cash it's easier than with anything else to do. We've been told over the past few years that cryptocurrencies are the evil things, right? That the main purpose is for them to serve to be used on the black market to conduct certain transactions, evil transactions, bad transactions by evil players. The truth of the matter is, though, that with the exception of certain coins, most coins, including Bitcoin, are traceable, and the origins of where Bitcoin goes and how it's spent can be traced back to where it came from. So it's not like Bitcoin is a very private coin. It's actually very easily tracked. Unfortunately, those claims may not match reality because there are two characteristics of CBDCs that their proponents don't often mention. First, they offer an eternal trail of data about how you're spending your money. Secondly, they are subject to programmability, which means political leaders will have the ability to dictate whether you're even allowed to spend your money. Now, what does this mean? Programmability means that a CBDC can be programmed to be spent on certain things. Let's say that the government decides one day that you, as a citizen of a certain country, of a certain nation, are only allowed to smoke 2 cigarette packs a week because that's the healthy standard. Now, I don't promote smoking any cigarettes, but if you do smoke cigarettes and you smoke more than 2 packs a week, maybe a day, I don't know, then you will be forced to acquire your cigarettes on a black market. If you're using CBDCs and you're trying to purchase those cigarettes with the CBDCs, you will no longer be able to do that because the CBDCs will be programmed in such a way that will only permit you to purchase 2 packs of cigarettes in a given week. This can be used for anything else, for services, for the money that you spend on different things. And if that's possible, then I think the next step is the implementation of what China is doing, which is a credit score, which essentially limits the amount of money that you can receive, that you can use as credit, based on your political associations, your political views, and how you behave in society as a human being, which is problematic because it's almost like being put in jail without actually being in jail. It's kind of like house arrest in a sense, where you're not really able to spend your money on certain things because the money that you have is under the control of a bank, which dictates what you can spend it on. As an electronic legal tender directly issued by central banks to your digital wallet, CBDCs will not be anonymous. The clients will have gone through identification process matching the ones currently proposed by commercial banks. The design instances may vary in detail, but either commercial banks or the central bank or both will be privy to always knowing who holds the digital issued fiat currency, how it is spent and transferred to whom, and for which purpose. All this information will be destroyed. All this information will be stored in a central digital ledger operated by central banks. This system will enable central banks to assemble a ledger containing every citizen's financial transactions from cradle to deathbed. While proponents may dismiss concerns governments could take interest in citizens' political affiliations, religious donations, mental health, and other personal details. Public health services might monitor alcohol and cigarette purchases as well as lifestyle choices for adopting insurance premiums. Even CO2 footprints of purchases may be tracked so that environmental policies can be adjusted significantly, compromising the data privacy of the citizenry. This is an interesting one because we've seen a massive push towards this whole agenda of CO2 footprints. And so we imagine that you happen to like a certain bottled beverage that you purchase at a convenience store and it's packaged in a plastic bottle. Now, your purchases will be tracked, could be tracked with the CBDC, and based on how many of these bottles you consume on any given month, this could be used to decide whether you may be required to pay an additional tax to cover your CO2 emissions because maybe you've used up too much plastic during a given month. The other example I gave was with the cigarettes or alcohol, which can also be used in adopting insurance premiums, meaning that if you smoke too many cigarettes, they might implement certain standards, and based on your consumption of cigarettes and alcohol, you may be denied claims for different insurance premiums, health insurance possibly. It's possible. This is the power of CBDCs. So this year, Nigel Farage, who was the party leader for the Brexit party, is claiming now on X that the establishment are trying to force me out of the UK by closing my bank accounts. I have been given no explanation or recourse as to why this is happening to me. This is serious political persecution at the very highest level of our system. So this man is being forced out of England because banks are closing his bank accounts and he doesn't have access to his money. Now imagine if CBDCs are implemented and people are forced to use CBDCs. You no longer need to go to a bank to take out money. You can use it directly through your phone or your credit cards or whatever way, but at the same token, banks can stop it at any moment. They can even program it in a way that you will not be able to spend it, and then they can claim innocence based on your limitations that were implemented into your CBDCs that were yours, but because of your behavior, past behavior, maybe too much CO2 emissions, the bank has now decided to limit your access to your CBDCs, which means you have no money, which means you can't do squat. There's a nifty little website created by the Cato Institute, that goes over the risks of CBDCs, why central bank digital currencies shouldn't be adopted. This is a very cool website. It provides you with an outline of the things that are wrong with CBDCs. It's a very easy to access website and browse through, which makes it very interesting. A central bank digital currency, or CBDC, is a digital national currency. Like paper dollars, a CBDC would be a liability of the Federal Reserve. Unlike paper dollars, it would offer neither the privacy protections nor the finality that cash provides. That direct digital liability, a sort of digital tether between citizens and the central bank, makes CBDCs a radical departure from the digital dollars millions of Americans already use today. While a CBDC would not offer any unique benefits to Americans compared to existing technologies, it would pose serious risks. For example, a CBDC could spell doom for what little financial privacy protections remain. Basically, with the use of CBDCs, there would be no privacy at all, because the issuer of the CBDC would be able to track every single thing you purchase as an individual. This dude, I played a video by this guy, who is he? Business General Manager Augustin Carstens. He talks about CBDCs and why they're important, why banks are so interested in CBDC. Basically, these were his words. I played a video of him explaining it in an earlier video on CBDCs that I made, so check that out on the channel. You can, of course, smash up the likes on that one too. We don't know who's using a $100 bill right now. They don't know who's using a $100 bill today, and we don't know who's using 1,000 pesos today. The key difference with the CBDC is the central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also we will have the technology to enforce that, meaning they'll have the technology to stop the issuance or the use of these particular CBDCs in certain cases. And yes, they want you to believe that it's for the prevention of crime, but essentially is for the control of humanity. The one who controls finances controls nations. Put simply, a CBDC would most likely be the single largest assault to financial privacy since the creation of the Bank Secrecy Act at the establishment of the third-party doctrine. How might such financial control occur? I'm just gonna go over it briefly because there's quite a bit of stuff. So, freezing or seizing assets, negative interest rates. While interest rates are typically thought of in terms of positive rates, a CBDC could allow policymakers to also set negative rates. In effect, a negative interest rate would result in people losing money. Proponents argue that this strategy could be implemented to spur spending. I guess, like, if you're holding CBDC for too long or longer than you need to, then you might have to start paying interest rates. And basically, it would eliminate any kinds of saving. The people who like to save their money would no longer be able to do it on this premise. I mean, whether it's going to happen or not, we don't know. But there there could be that possibility, and that's the threat. Programmable spending. So that's what I mentioned earlier. CBDC can allow government agencies and private sector players to program targeted public functions. By programming a CBDC, money can be precisely targeted for what people can own and what people can do. Enough said, I think. Let's continue, shall we? We're going to get into the topic of why Ripple is a problem and why the only reason why any YouTuber, including Bitcoin Ben, is promoting Ripple is because they're holders of massive shitty Ripple XRP bags, and that's the only way to go. They completely disregard the fact that Ripple is the main developer of the CBDC stratum. Ripple teams up with research and development firm to run CBDC and crypto experiments. Ripple wins prestigious award for CBDC innovations. I mean, come on, people. Ripple Labs is teaming up with Northern Europe-based research and development firm to run experiments centered on crypto assets and central bank digital currencies. This was posted in July. So this was talked about in July already. It's XRP. Everybody talks about XRP. Nobody talks about Ripple anymore. XRP and Ripple are like, it's the same company, but they're separate. So the excuse is going to be that XRP is not actually Ripple, or that it's not the ledger on which CBDCs are being developed. But it's the same damn thing. It's run by the same person. It's run by the same company. There should be no distinction between these. In a new company blog post, Ripple says it will be collaborating with SuperHow a private blockchain technology research lab based in Latvia, to work on the Axiology projects, a tokenized securities and settlements infrastructure built on top of the XRP ledger. To some degree, I believe that the SEC may have been trying to do humanity a favor by limiting access or limiting XRP and Ripple from existence. And they may have come up short, because Ripple growing and XRP growing is not a good thing. Them working on CBDCs, the company working on CBDCs, the development of CBDCs is not a good thing. And I want to hear more crypto YouTubers talk about this, and nobody is. Today, Bitcoin Ben released a video saying how XRP is going to the moon. For Pete's sake, seriously? Ripple, a SuperHow have embarked on an ambitious collaboration known as Axiology Project. This collaboration serves as a catalyst for testing and issuing digital assets, including central bank digital currencies and stablecoins, bolster regulators' confidence in the safety and security of these transformative digital assets. Another nonsense thing that came out somewhere, article, was that the release of CBDCs will send Bitcoin to the moon. How would that send it to the moon? Absolutely ridiculous. According to Ripple, the point of the partnership is that regulators can test the security and safety of crypto assets. That's the excuse. Ripple says the project aims to highlight a core real-world business application for tokenization and digital assets on the XRP ledger. In an earlier video, I also had an article which stated that XRP ledger was working with 21 banks, 15 central banks, and whatever remainder, 7 or 6 retail banks, or whatever they're called, smaller banks. So essentially, XRP would be in charge of flooding the bank market with CBDCs, homemade CBDCs. Ripple wins prestigious award for CBDC innovations. Ripple has clinched 2 prestigious, not even 1, but 2 prestigious awards at Jupiter's Research Future Digital Awards for FinTech and Payments 2023. Juniper Research revealed yesterday, on October 3rd, that the fintech company has been honored with the Sustainability in Fintech Innovation of the Year and the CBDC Innovation Award. Do you not see anything wrong with this? Ripple impresses with its CBDC initiatives. Sustainability in Fintech Innovation of the Year award was rewarded for Ripple's innovative work on the US dollar-backed Palau stablecoin. According to the research firm, the stablecoin stands out due to its issuance on the XRP ledger, known as a carbon-neutral blockchain. Over the span of a decade, the XRP ledger has facilitated millions of transactions, ensuring robust privacy and security for the settlement and liquidity of tokenized assets. Other award winners include MasterCard for digital identity innovation, Naper, RegTech platform, Gizeked and Devrient tokenized payment tokenization solution, PayStan best B2B payment platform, Terra and Neum best cross-border payment platform, AC's instant payment innovation, and ACI payments orchestration platform, payment innovation of the year. None of these companies have anything to do with CBDC. Ripple is the only one who's working on CBDCs. An emerging CBDC powerhouse, the Digital Foundation, of which Ripple is a member, also shed light on the company's achievements. The institution stated that Ripple's CBDC platform is dedicated to delivering a comprehensive solution for central banks, governments, and institutions. It aims to boost financial inclusion and to diminish the cost of risk associated with domestic and international payment processes. Let's not forget, is a German name, surprisingly and strangely enough. The CEO of Ripple has nothing to fear. Some people might mistakenly assume that XRP is a creator of a cryptocurrency, so how can he have bad intentions towards crypto? For him, it's not gonna matter. He will be a billionaire if Ripple succeeds at creating CBDCs that will be adopted by every single bank, central bank in the world. he will become a trillionaire even, and he will have nothing to fear. The idea of CBDCs holding him back in some strange way, that he will be limited or he'll be plagued by the same limitations as the rest of the populace based on the use of their CBDCs, is mistaken. That would not be the case. He doesn't give two hoots what's going to happen to the rest of the population as long as he gets his, and he will get his if this gets to pass, while we will get the shaft, or the people who will have to use CBDCs. And I hope that Korea, I'm glad that Korea is not planning on using CBDCs as retail transactions or retail CBDCs as of yet, because that will be the last straw. That will be the worst thing that could ever happen. So hopefully that's not going to happen anytime soon in Korea. But this is what we're looking at. So in conclusion, do not buy CBDCs. I mean, do not buy Ripple. Do not invest in Ripple. As a matter of fact, you get rid of all your Ripple baggage, dump it onto the market, and hope and pray that it doesn't get any farther than it already has. All you people buying Ripple, all you people investing in XRP, hoping for the massive gains, all you do is throw wood into the fire and are helping propel the development of CBDCs, because that's the money that these people take in order to work with the banks to create the CBDCs. Who knows? It's probably too late already. But for the love of all that is holy, get rid of your XRP. Get rid of your bags of shit as fast as you can and use it to purchase something better. Buy some GPUs, mine some Meow coin, buy some Bitcoin with it, get ADA. Everybody's shitting on ADA. Well, XRP are the bad guys. They're the ones who are creating CBDCs that will destroy financial systems as we know it. Christ. Smash up the likes, subscribe. Crypto Father out. Out of breath, man.